Today I put together a flow that's going to primarily focus on the shoulders. If you do have any blocks, maybe grab one or two as we move through class, or maybe two hardback books if you want to pause this and grab a couple just as an extra support. We'll be doing several different poses today, getting into some inversions and arm balances, but I'll make sure to provide modifications and cues to kind of meet you where you're at today. So if you have your props, you can go ahead and place them at the top of your mat. We'll start today standing in our Tadasana mountain pose. Soles of the feet rooted into the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Lift up the chest, broaden through the shoulders and collarbones. And take a few rounds of breath, maybe closing the eyes. And if you'd like to follow the rise and fall of the heart and the belly, taking a few deep breaths. And if there is a mantra or a prayer, or if there's an intention you'd like to set for the beginning of your practice, breathing it in through the nose, letting it fill the body on the exhale. Slowly release the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Stand tall, and on the exhale, hands to heart center, gaze inwards. And take a breath here. As you blink the eyes open, arms sweep up. We'll start off with a gentle tricep stretch, holding onto the left elbow, left fingertips down the center of the back. Lift up through the side waist, plant through both feet. And if you'd like to, maybe ground through the left foot and just gently stretch over, adding a side body stretch. Maybe gazing under the left arm. And take a round of breath here. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Go ahead and lift back up to stand. Release the arms, elbows out wide, cactus, chest lifts. And exhale, find your mountain pose, standing tall. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Other side, inhale, reaching the arms up. This time, right fingertips crawl down the center of the mat. Lift up out of the right shoulder, right side waist. And maybe as you press through both feet, right foot grounds, lift out of the side waist here on the right side. Maybe gazing under the right elbow. Take a round of breath, inhale. And exhale, slowly release, arms wide, elbows wide. And find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Make your way up to the top of the mat if you aren't there already. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. And exhale, bringing hands through heart center. Go ahead and open the arms like a T, palms facing down. Slight bend in the knees. We're going to meet an Uttanasana, forward fold. Folding down with a straight, flat spine, extended spine. Chest towards the shins here, Uttanasana. Pouring the weight over the balls of the feet. Sending the tailbone, the sit bones up towards the sky. Maybe letting the head hang heavy. One more round of breath here. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and inhale. Halfway lift, hands can come to the shins or to the quads. Extend through the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale, fold. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and plant your palms. Step back into your plank pose. Hold plank here. Option to drop the knees. Supported plank. Pressing through both palms, navel in towards spine. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Shift the weight over the toes a little bit. Shoulders over wrists. We'll lower to the belly to the count of 3. Elbows by the ribs, 2. And 1. Finding your way to the belly. We'll end up in our Sphinx pose, palms and forearms on the mat. Gazing forward, inhale, heart lifts. Let the lower body hang heavy as you extend the upper. Nice back bend here. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale breath. One more inhale. Exhale, cheek on the mat, and take one breath to reset. Now, option to come back into your Sphinx pose. We'll do one more round of back bend, or we'll come into Cobra pose. Hands by the sides of the breastbone. And on your inhale, press through the hands and start to extend the heart forward. Baby Cobra, or maybe pressing a little bit more into the palms if you can keep the back extended. Long spine. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Slowly lower back down to the mat. Take a breath. Keep that space in the spine. We'll tuck the toes, lift up to your supported plank with the knees on the ground or high plank. Strong core here. Inhale. Exhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog pose. Pressing through all parts of the hands, pedal out the feet. Maybe find some movement as you stay with your deep rounds of breath in and out the nose. One more inhale and exhale breath. Now we'll heel toe the feet to the top of the mat. We'll meet in our Uttanasana again, our forward fold. Feet between the hands, belly towards the legs, and fold. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift here. We'll extend the arms out wide, long spine. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale out. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. Press through the feet to lift up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Let's meet in Utkatasana, fierce pose. Weight in the heels. Option to heel to the feet out a little bit if you want, maybe a fist or two in between the feet. Sitting back here, lifting the heart, maybe adding your arms. Biceps by the ears. Palms maybe facing one another. We'll stay here for one more full breath. And exhale, go ahead and forward fold. Let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift. Open up the hands again. Stay with a long spine and go ahead and stand all the way up. Arms reach up and exhale, hands come through heart center. Second round of your chair pose. Option to keep the hands here at the heart center if you'd like. Weight again in the heels or start to add the arms. And pick that point of focus out in front of you, generating a lot of heat in the body right now. Try to stay consistent and calm in the mind. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Extend through the arms. Extend through the spine. Root down the feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through heart center. Chair pose. Sink back. Maybe add the arms. And we're here for 3 more breaths. Two more breaths. One more inhale here. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And open up the arms. Take a deep breath in here. And go ahead and exhale, forward fold. Fingertips to the mat, maybe to the blocks if you'd like to move them a little bit closer. And we're going to pick up the left foot, step it back, and find our low lunge. First low lunge here, maybe find a little movement. Option to keep the feet staggered for a little bit wider base. Moving forward and back, if you'd like, or just trying to sink the hips down a little bit, finding some space in the hips. Take a deep breath in here, lengthen through the spine again, and then we're going to meet in gate pose. We're going to drop the back knee. Left hand is going to stay on the floor, right foot, swing around, find your gate pose. Side stretch, so it's kind of like a side plank here, but this left knee is going to stay down. Right arm is going to reach up towards the sky. Maybe think about drawing the shoulder blades in close towards one another as you lift through the fingers. Option to lift the back leg. One more inhale. And exhale, we're going to meet back in low lunge. Swing the right side, right hand, right foot up to the top of the mat. Lift the back heel. And we'll take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and step the back foot to meet the front. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Open up the arms, strong in the back of the spine. And fold. This time, the right foot is going to step all the way back and find your low lunge. Option to stagger out the feet again, rolling forward and backwards on those back toes. And we'll take our gate pose on the opposite side. Drop the right knee this time, right hand plants. Left foot's going to swing around. So this front shoulder is going to be over the front wrist. Back toes can be anchored into the mat. And then left arm's going to lift up towards the sky. Maybe draw the shoulder blades in, lift out of the sideways, the obliques. Fingertips lift. Option to lift the back leg. Strength and flexibility here. One more inhale. One more exhale. Left side of the body is going to slowly come up to the top. And we're going to meet in our low lunge pose again. Back knee will lift. And take an inhale, extend the spine. And we're going to meet in plank or supported plank, stepping back. And take a breath here. Inhale in your plank. Stay for the exhale breath. One more inhale. Shift the weight forward. Ride your exhale all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes and take your back bend of choice here. Maybe come up to a cobra if up dog is in your practice. Taking upward facing dog perhaps by pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the knees. Take a breath. And then go ahead and tuck the toes. Start to lift the tailbone up and back and find your downward facing dog. If at any time down dog doesn't feel right, option to come into child's. Great pose here, nice restorative, getting ready to join back in just a few moments. And take another breath here in down dog. Inhale. And exhale. And we'll meet at the top of the mat if you want to start to move forward, step, or hop. Find your forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, find your deep forward fold. Open the arms out to the side, extend through the spine, and then rise all the way up to stand. Bring hands towards heart center. We'll sink back into the hips and find your chair pose. Option to add the arms. Lifting up through the heart as you sink through the hips. One more inhale and one more exhale. Inhale, let's stand tall. Bring hands through heart center. Open up the arms wide, palms facing down. Now lead with your heart. We'll end up with a forward fold here, folding over the toes. Inhale halfway, and exhale, we'll fold. Step the left foot back, and you're in your low lunge pose. Take a deep breath in, extend the spine, drop the back knee, swing the right leg around, and we'll meet in our gate pose again. Now, option to stay here if you'd like to move into a side plank, Vashisthasana. Option to press into the left hand and lift the left knee off the mat. And keep the right arm lifted up towards the sky. One more inhale and one more exhale. We'll lower the left knee down. Start to swing the right leg around again, right arm. Stagger the feet here, left and right, maybe hips width distance apart. We're going to lift up to high crescent lunge. Back knee lifts, both arms lift up towards the sky. If the shoulders are getting tired, you can always put hands to heart center and join when it feels appropriate. Squaring off the hips towards the front, Ground through the lower body, lift through the upper body. Take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll meet in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Ground the edge of the back foot. Strong energy down the back foot, the back heel, bending through the right knee. I always like to check down at my feet, making sure my top ankle, my top heel is in line with the inner arch of the back foot. And as you sink the hips down, gazing over the front finger, add the arms. We'll be here just for another breath or two. And then go ahead and find a side angle pose here. We're going to end up with the right forearm on the thigh and lift the left arm up to the sky. Again, squeeze through the shoulder blades here. I'll turn around for a moment. So here, squeezing through the shoulder blades, lift through the fingers. Stay with your side ankle pose. Back toes spun in. Take another inhale here. And on our exhale, we'll circle the top arm down and meet in a low lunge pose, gazing forward. Step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, open the arms out to the sky and rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Chair pose, sinking the hips back, lifting through the chest. We'll take an inhale breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then plant the fingertips. Right foot's going to step back this time. Find your low lunge. Keep some length in the spine as you drop the right knee. Swing the left leg around and find your gate pose. Option to press through the right hand this time and move into your Vashisthasana side plank. Any variation that you'd like, but maybe try to keep the shoulder blades stacked here and lift the fingertips up towards the sky as you lift through the side waist. One more inhale. And one more exhale. We'll drop the bottom knee down, land in gate pose, and then swing the left leg around. Coming into high crescent. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and you're there. Few breaths. One more inhale, maybe gazing up. And exhale, let's meet in our Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Feel free to adjust the feet to fit where the body needs to land. Try to externally rotate through this front leg. One more inhale. One more exhale. Meet in side angle pose. Forearm on the thigh, tracking through the shoulder blades and lifting the fingers. And take one more inhale breath here. Exhale, circle the hands down, find your low lunge pose. Inhale. And exhale to plank or supported plank, knees on the mat. And we'll take a breath in, and on the exhale, let's ride down to the belly, or you can stop halfway if you'd like to come right into your upward facing dog. Back bend of choice, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog or child's pose. We'll be here for a breath or two. And then bring the gaze in between the thumbs. Let's meet at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend through the arms. And press through the feet, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and find chair pose, sink the hips. Inhale, and exhale, find your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold, fingertips to the mat, left foot steps back, low lunge pose. Inhale, stretch the spine, and exhale, drop the back knee, come into the gate pose. Working on these shoulders, option to come into side plank. And take a breath. Lower the left knee to gate pose. We'll meet in high crescent lunge. Right leg, right arm sweeps up. And open up warrior two. Take a breath. Side angle pose. Left arm lifts. And circle the left hand down. Left heel lifts, low lunge pose. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, arms out wide. And stand tall, hands to heart. Sink the hips down, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Fold, right foot steps back, low lunge. And go ahead and drop the back knee. Swing the left leg around. Find your gate pose or your side plank pose. Right knee drops. Left leg swings. Left arm makes you lift high crescent. Warrior two. And side angle pose. Right arm lifts. And find your low lunge pose. Straight, strong back here. Press back into plank or supported plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower halfway down into the belly. Inhale, peel the chest up for your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll go through this one more time. Option to meet in child's pose. And when you're ready, coming back into downward facing dog and step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Open up the arms. Inhale to rise. Hands to heart center. Inhale to chair pose. Take one more breath in. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Left foot steps back, low lunge. Drop the back knee. Right arm lifts, gate pose or Vashisthasana, side plank. Feeling supported by this grounding arm, this shoulder here. And then drop the left knee, swing the right leg, right arm lifts, high crescent lunge. Open up, warrior two. Side angle pose. And again, think about energetically bringing the shoulders, or physically even bringing the shoulder blades towards one another. You lift the fingers, and then let's find our low lunge, back heel lifts. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway, open up the arms. And inhale to stand. Hands to heart. Inhale to chair pose. Stay for the exhale breath. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, find your fold. This time, the right foot steps back and find your low lunge. Right knee drops, gate pose. Vashisthasana, side plank if you'd like. And drop the right knee, left side swings around, lifts you up. And find your warrior two. Come into your side angle pose. And circle the right hand around, find your low lunge. Find an extension of the spine, step back into plank, hold it here, take a big inhale. Option to drop the knees, come halfway down or to the belly. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, let's find our child's pose. Maybe forehead on the mat, maybe hands down by the sides just to give the shoulders a little rest if you'd like. And just take a few breaths there. kind of try to let everything go, let the heart rate sink back down. So next we'll be working on, you can stay in your child's pose, we'll be working on Kakasana and tripod headstand. So crow pose or Bakasana, crane pose. I'll cue some variations to help get into it. And then if that's not in your practice, or if tripod headstand's not in your practice, you can stay at the options that I give you at the beginning. Few more breaths in child. And remember, when this is, maybe a challenging transition and poses arm balance and inversion, if it's not in your practice, just meet your body where you're at today. And this is all a building block and all practice for just that reason. We come to our mat every day to try to meet our body where it's at and start to give ourselves some muscle memory of deepening our poses, or just practicing through the movements with our breath. So as you come out of child's pose, I'm going to cue through our first option here, which is going to be Malasana. So we'll all come into Malasana, which is yogi squat. If the hips and the knees are not feeling it, just take a block at the highest level. If you don't have a block and you have a sofa, maybe just sit on the sofa, start to angle out the feet, knees out wide, and you can just practice here in Malasana. Toes out wide, heels in, sitting on a block is going to be your first option. Sinking the hips back down to the heels is going to be the other option. Taking the triceps underneath in the inside of the thighs, pressing them out, pressing the knees out with the arms. Maybe knuckle to knuckle. All right, so take your block if you do have one, or if Kakasana is new to your practice or something you're still working on with this assist. You can have it on the any height you'd like. I'm just going to take mine to the bottom height and start to move into your arm balance if it's in your practice. If you want a cue or two, go ahead and place the hands on either side of the block. Fingers out wide, like you're gripping the mat with the fingertips here, like you're making suction cups. Maybe the neck will start to pop up a little bit. And maybe you just start, actually I'll put the block on the second height. Maybe you'll just start to practice shifting the weight from the toes to the hands. And the forehead can stay on the block. So I like to take my armpits and wrap them underneath my knees. So the back of my arms are going to create a little shelf here. And then I'm going to press through the fingertips so much so forehead's on the mat. Maybe one toe lifts. Maybe the other toe lifts. Maybe the head lifts. Maybe the elbows start to straighten. Pick that point of focus here. Maybe starting to straighten the arms a little bit, really cinching through the rib cage. Finding that point of focus. One more inhale and one more exhale. We'll slowly release, take the toes back onto the mat. Find your Malasana option to sit on the block. So that was our round one. Round two, we're going to take Kakasana and try to transition into tripod headstand. So tripod headstand, it's still a lot of arm balance and arm strength, core strength as well, and taking the pressure out of the top of the head as much as possible. If it's in your practice and it's something that you're working on, if it's not in your practice, maybe you stay in Kakasana, or option to use a wall. And that's sometimes helpful for when you lift your feet up, the feet know where they're going and they can be braced by something that's steady and solid. So if you're using the block, you can place that underneath where the forehead would land and practice on your crow pose. Go ahead and hook the back of the arms in the inner thighs, and we'll come into our arm balance. And if you'd like to transition into your tripod headstand, picking that point of focus in the center of your mat, slowly lowering the crown of the head onto the mat, and then press through the hands to start to lift the feet. up towards the sky. And come down whenever you'd like. Option to slowly lower down one foot and the other, or maybe start to crunch. Knees come in towards the belly and come back into your Kakasana, crow or crane pose, Bakasana. Lift up through the hands. Find your crow. Stay here and drop the feet in Malasana or shoot back into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, child's pose. Nice to see the world from a different perspective when you're standing upside down for a little bit. Take another breath or two in child. If you'd like to come to the shins and roll out the wrists a little bit, might feel nice right now. And as you're ready, we're going to meet onto the belly. We'll do a little bit more work. So you can remove the blocks from the side. We're going to work on our cat bird on our belly. So it's going to be an arm and leg extended in opposite directions. So sometimes we're in our tabletop pose and we're opening up here like this, opposite arm to opposite leg. And we're going to do that on the belly. So go ahead and lower down to the belly. Arms can stay out long, or maybe arms are cactus. So arms out long here, tops of the feet on the mat. Start to lift the left leg up and the right arm up. Take one inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Opposite leg is going to start to lift. Left arm lifts as well. And take an inhale here, stretch. Exhale, lower. Switch sides, left leg, right arm. And lower. Right leg, left arm, inhale. And lower. A few more times, left leg, right arm. And lower. Right leg, left arm. And lower. Inhale, left leg, right arm. And lower. Right leg, left arm, lift. And lower. Go ahead and lower one cheek on the mat and take a breath or two to reset. And we're going to move into one more back bend. So we'll take an option here. If you'd like to come into locust pose, we're going to bring the hands down towards the feet, fingertips towards the feet. And then on the inhale, peel the chest up, lift the legs. Option to come into upward facing bow from here, bend through the knees. Press the tops of the feet into the hands, lift the heart, roll the shoulders open. And take two more breaths here, deep in and out the nose. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, slowly lower, place opposite cheek on the mat and take a breath or two. And let's go through this whole thing again with the cat bird going first. So stretching the fingers out long, start to lift the left foot, right arm lift and lower. Right leg, left arm lift and lower. Right arm in and out. Left arm in and out. A few more times. Really think of lengthening through the toes, reaching through the fingers. Finding some more length. Moving with the breath. One more time each side. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. And take a breath or two. Second round, final round, locust pose, fingertips towards the toes. On your next inhale, lift the legs, lift the chest. Stay there, or maybe grab the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift. Can your inhale breath lift you up a little bit more? And take one more breath. Slowly release on the exhale. We're going to press back up through child's pose. Option to take, if you do have your blocks, option to take them with you towards the back of the mat. We'll move into camel pose, Ustrasana. Tuck the toes. If you're using blocks by the heel. And hands down the back, fingertips towards the heels like they're in jeans pockets. Inhale, lift the heart. And we'll start with opposite sides here for our first round. Fingertips to the block or to the heels with the right hand. Left arm's going to lift up. Chest up towards the ceiling. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, circle the left fingers down to the block or to the heel. Right arm's going to lift up. Shine the heart up towards the sky. And swing the right arm back around. Both hands on the hips and sink back into the heels. And we'll move into our full camel pose from here. Rising back onto the toes or maybe keeping tops of the feet on the mat. Roll the shoulders up and back, heart lifts. So as you are coming down with the right fingertips towards the heel or to the block, left arm lifts and maybe left arm travels back as well. If you'd like to stay with the alternate arm camel pose, stay one more breath on the right side. And then start to lower the left arm to the left heel. Lift the right arm here. We'll all be here for a full round of breath. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll start to walk the hands to the lower back and sink the hips over the heels. And let's come into a rabbit pose to counter it out, holding onto the heels, forehead on the mat. And then lift through the belly so you stretch the lower spine, holding onto the heels. Weight is barely in the head. All right, and we'll end up on our sit bones. Keep the blocks handy. So we'll scoot down so we can lower down all the way to the back. So feet are going to be on the mat. Sit up tall in the spine. Reach the hands forward. Scoop the belly and lower for 10. To the back, 9. Roll down the spine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the arms up, extend the legs, find a stretch, maybe clasp the hands and press the palms away. And take an inhale breath here, real a big breath, stretch through the lungs, and exhale, let everything release. So we'll work on our bridge pose, bridge or wheel. We'll do 2 rounds. And we'll cue from the first options and progress from there. So if wheel or bridge is in your practice, go ahead and move into the space you'd like to. So I'm going to crawl the heels up towards my glutes a little bit, press through the inner outer arches, lift the hips. Option 1. Option 1A, sitting on the block. Beautiful, feels amazing. So that's option 1 and option 1A, we'll say. And if you don't have the block, palms are pressing into the mat. Option 2, roll the shoulders under, clasp the hands, and lift the hips. Knees and hip points pointing up to the ceiling. Be here for a few more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, release the tailbone into the mat. Option to bring the knees from side to side, or maybe grabbing on top of the shins and giving yourself some hip circles, hip rolls, whichever you'd prefer. Switching sides. And we'll move into our second and final round, maybe progressing into wheel if you'd like. And I'll do my attempts at it. This is a tough pose for me. So option to stay here in your 1 or 1A, or rolling the shoulders into bridge pose. Or option to bring the fingertips by the ears, pressing through the palms. Exhale the breath all the way out, and then use your next inhale to lift you up. We'll be here for about, 8 to 10 breaths. So pace yourself and come down with care when you need it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Roll down the spine. And take your release if you'd like, some circles or some sways. And let's come right into our Supta Baddha Konasana, keeping the heart lifted. Soles of the feet together. Right hand on heart center, left hand on the belly, and take a few breaths. So we'll end our class today in our bound angle pose, or Supta Baddha Konasana. Trying to keep the heart open here after our bridge or wheel pose. If you have a few more minutes and you'd like to sit into your Shavasana by extending the legs and the arms, that is a great option. What do you notice when you're sitting through the stillness, in the stillness? What can you signal to relax just a little bit more? Giving a cue to the physical body to let go and relax. And giving a cue to the mind to also let go and relax. What can you discover about yourself in the silence? And feel free to stay in that pose, or if you'd like to close out practice, rolling into fetal pose on the left or right side of the body. And slowly lifting your way up to a comfortable seat. What can you discover about yourself in the silence? The yoga journey is a very special one, so give yourself some gratitude and some thanks for carving out this time to make your way onto your mat today. Feel free to share this practice with anyone, family, friends, coworkers. And I'm off to eat some coconut flour almond butter cookies that I made, because you know what? Life is all about finding that balance. From my mat to yours, I wish you a really great rest of your day or evening. And until next time, namaste.